you go from Wentz to Ryan. It's definitely an upgrade. It's just a matter of, for me, is he going to be any different than what they had with Phillip Rivers, where there were some good moments, but Ryan's at about the point in his career where you would start to see some of the same decline that you were seeing from Phillip Rivers at that point in his career. And I think that Rivers is a better player all time than Matt Ryan is as a quarterback. So I think you're doing Phillip Rivers again. You don't give up much to get it. You're right. You do still have that first-round pick that you sent to Philadelphia in exchange for Wentz that's off the books. But you're right. You didn't give up much because the Falcons have a $40 million dead cap hit. They just wanted to get rid of his salary. So it's not like they gave up a lot to do it. I just wonder does this actually give the Colts a victory as far as building their franchise going forward? He is not, Matt Ryan, going to beat many of the great quarterbacks that are now in the AFC. Is there a point to having a competent quarterback if you're the Colts? Because, yeah, you got Jonathan Taylor. Your wide receiver core could use an upgrade. Yeah, you've got on the defensive line some pretty good players. You got Darius Leonard at the linebacker core, DeForest Buckner up front. You got a pretty good defense. Are you a 9-win team? Are you a 10-win team? Well, are you the best team in the AFC South? Is it worth winning the AFC South, essentially? Because that's what you're, I think, best case scenario getting by trading for Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan is not going to poop the pants the way that Carson Wentz did against the Raiders and then the next week the Jags.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
That was
Matt
bad.
Ryan.
Those two games where it happened, that's what's crazy.
The Colts had a 90% chance of winning the playoffs until they lost to the Raiders and then subsequently lost to the Jags. That's not going to happen with Matt Ryan. To your point, will they go very far in the playoffs because of how absolutely stacked, scarily stacked the AFC is in general, not just the AFC West, but the AFC in general? I don't think so. But they're in win now mode. They want to win now. They're not in rebuild mode. They're in win now mode. So they think that Matty Ice gives them the best chance to win now.
What a terrible nickname, by the way. Hey, it's me, Matty Ice. I was nicknamed after a terrible beer that you hopefully stopped drinking in college, because we're talking about a Natty Ice.
Natty Ice goes hard in the right environment, though.
No.
Yes, it does.
It's not good. It's the only, I think, light beer that you bought in college and then hopefully upgraded when you got out of college is Keystone. That's it. You will not have me swayed in any other way. Natty Light. I remember they had like a Natty Black, which was like supposed to be like a harder version of it, slightly more alcoholic. No. Keystone till I die, Vanessa. Matty Ice. You're nicknamed after a bad beer. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what you are.
9123 says Matt Ryan can at least throw down the field. Rivers couldn't do that. 2141 says Matt Ryan right now is better than Rivers was when he went to Indy. Rivers was held together by bubblegum and rubber bands.
Do you really know that, though? I mean, the last time that we saw Matt Ryan at a really high level was 2018, where he threw for almost 5,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. But last year, and look, I get it, it was a messy year for Atlanta. Calvin Ridley randomly quit in the middle of the season. They got rid of Julio Jones. But sub 4,000 yards passing for the first time in a decade, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. It was at best for him this past season. He's not coming off of some year where you're like, yeah, he's going to make everyone around him better. And he's going to have to do that, Vanessa, in Indianapolis, because the Colts are in this spot where I guess Michael Pittman's their best weapon on the outside. T.Y. Hilton is a free agent. I don't think he is coming back. He doesn't have a lot that he is working with. Where at least in Atlanta, he had Kyle Pitts.
Well, and somebody on the text line brought up, of course, the Super Bowl that Matt Ryan. That to me was some more defense, though, more of defensive issues. The Super Bowl that the Falcons lost, but it does prove. I mean, but to his point,
yeah,
losing
right.
big leads. I mean, that's a fair point. Bringing up his age is a fair point.
It was Kyle Shanahan's and Dan Quinn's fault that they lost that game. They were in field goal range. They just had to kick it. The defense for the Falcons played well in the first half. They just, I think, ran out of gas in the second very, 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 very quickly. But no, I don't blame that Super Bowl on Matt Ryan. He should be a Super Bowl champion.
5030 says he was Matt. Okay, so he was Matty Ice because he has ice in his veins in the fourth quarter, not the beer. But the way that nicknames work, I don't mean this in a demeaning way,
I do.
5030, is that you take something like that he has ice in his veins, and then you match it with a popular product or brand. So
why?
that was
They're not going to call him just Matty Ice for no reason. It's entirely because of Natty Ice. I swear.
It works.